Right things. Give me Proverbs chapter 28, verse 13. Proverbs 28 and 13. Because you're right, we have to repent. But if you don't know no better, you won't do better, right? All right, read.
Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 13.
Bring it out.
He that covereth his sin shall not prosper.
So he that covereth his sins, with which are those transgressions against God, when you try to cover those things up, read.
But whoso confesseth his and forsaketh them shall have mercy.
He said, whoso confesseth that they doing wrong and forsake those wrong things, them is what's going to have mercy. So now when you start understanding, hey, I got to keep the Sabbath day holy. When you start confessing that you've been breaking it and then you fix it, now you're forsaking it and you're going to start doing the right thing. Let me ask y'all something, because we at Israel United in Christ, we got to keep it real with our people. Let me ask y'all something. Y'all deal with drugs? You deal with drugs? You deal with drugs? Not for real? You deal with alcohol? Okay, so they one and the same thing, because they got a hold on our people. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be real with each other. Do you think that you dealing with drugs, you dealing with alcohol, do you think that's going to make you productive in society? No? No, not at all. It's going to keep a stupor on you. It's going to keep you in the same position you've been in. But let me ask you something. Why do you succumb to alcohol? You said what? After your mama passed. So there was a trauma that happened to you to where you didn't know how to deal with it, so you turned to drinking, right? Let me ask you something. Why you deal with drugs? Your grandma passed? Again, another trauma. What you got to understand is we all dealing with traumas. And we deal with traumas in different ways. Some deal with drugs, some deal with alcohol, some deal with sex, some deal with anger. You know what I'm saying? Where they just want to go out and be violent. You know what I'm saying? So all of us is dealing with this. This is not new. I want you to read the bottom of verse 28, verse 48 again. I want you to understand something. Read. Because you're not being properly taught how to grieve. You know what I'm saying? There's a proper way to grieve. In the Bible, it talks about you grieve for 7 days, but you got to move on, because if you don't move on, it'll destroy you. Somebody know where that's at in Sirach? Find that in Sirach for me, about grieving 7 days. It's in Sirach. It's like the 30s or 40s or something like that. But I want you to understand something. The Bible has all the answers to what you're going through. So the Bible has an answer on how to get you to stop dealing with drugs. The Bible has an answer on how to get you to stop dealing with alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Because it talks about alcohol. Alcohol is made to make you merry. It's made to make you happy. You know what I'm saying? But if you over abuse it, then it becomes a problem. You know what I'm saying? It's not to drown away sorrows. You know what I'm saying? 22 and 12. Give me that. Let me show you how you supposed to grieve. Because both of y'all said the same thing. That's a heavy point. A lot of our people go through traumas where they lose their fathers, where they lose their mothers, where they lose, like you said, grandparents. You know what I'm saying? And then they start to act out because nobody set them down and told them it's okay. Don't worry about it. You're going to be all right. This is how you properly supposed to do this and move on. That happens a lot in our community. You know what I'm saying? When when the little kids get taken with CPS. You know what I'm saying? Taken away from their mothers and things like that. That's what happens. They start to get a low mind. Read.
Sirach chapter 22 and verse 12. 7 days do men mourn for him that is dead.
It says 7 days do men mourn for him that is dead. Read.
But for a fool and ungodly man all the days of his life.
Right? So it's another one. Say like in 30s. Find the other one. All right? But 7 days we supposed to mourn for our people that is godly. You know what I'm saying? But it tells us, hey, we can't have a heavy mind about it. We got to keep moving. We got to keep pushing. All right? But go to 1 Corinthians 3 and 16 while they find that. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 16. Because we got to understand what you're doing to your body when you're dealing with drugs, when you're dealing with alcohol. Is it good for your body or bad? It's bad for your body. Read.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
He said, ye are the temple of God. Meaning he put his image on you. He said, I made man in my image. So the fact that you got woolly hair, that's Christ-like. The fact that you got a beard on your face, that's Christ-like. The fact that you got brown skin that's like it's burned in a furnace is Christ-like. He made you in his image.
That's right.
He made you to be the glory of him. So when he says you are the temple of God, that means something. When you the temple of God, do you think a temple of God should look ran down?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we was in heaven right now, do you think it would have dirt everywhere, trash everywhere? Okay, so if you the temple of God, do you supposed to have trash everywhere? No, you're not supposed to. Read. Start from the top.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?
So the Spirit of God is supposed to dwell in you. It's supposed to dwell in you. You know what I'm saying? But do you think with alcohol abuse and drug abuse, do you think the Spirit of God is dwelling in you? Nah, it's not. You know what I'm saying? He gonna go on. That's why people are destroyed, because they don't understand how valuable you are. You are valuable, black man.
That's right.
I know the world told you you're not valuable. I know the world told you you ain't nothing, but you are. I think that's it. Read.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and how God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy.
It said anybody that defiles the temple of God, God is going to destroy. How does God destroy you? It's not just a quick, hey, you dead. It don't work like that. It's a process. Start doing alcohol and you start abusing it, you start destroying yourself, because, hey, it might start with a DUI ticket. And that take your money away, and then you know what I'm saying, you might lose your job or something. And then he starts giving you psoriasis of the liver, or ulcers in your body. You know what I'm saying? Where he starts breaking down your body from liver. Then you can't function without alcohol. You know what I'm saying? So it's a rabbit hole that you go down. Same thing with drugs, bro. You start out smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm just getting high. But then all of a sudden you're like, hey, let me try some cocaine. Then you say, hey, let me try these pills. Let me try this crack. Let me try this heroin. Now you bugged out of your mind.
That's right.
Now you can't even tell what reality is, because God has destroyed you for destroying his temple.
Right.
Because you're not taking serious who you are, he's not going to take serious who you are. And that's a fearful thing, to get caught up in God's wrath like that. We already read that he'll put you in slavery. He'll destroy you. He'll kill you. And it ain't going to be no quick death. It's going to be a slow death. You know what I'm saying? That's how he destroy you. Now all of a sudden you dealing with drugs, you dealing with the wrong crowd, things happening to you. You share a dirty needle, you got HIV or something. All these things can start happening to you if you don't pay attention. Drunk driving, you swerve, hit a pole, kill somebody or something, now you in jail. All these things can happen to you because you're not respecting God's temple, which is you. So you got a chance to change, bro. Understand. You ain't the only one that dealt with drugs. There's other brothers in the congregation that dealt with drugs heavily, but through the Spirit of the Most High God, they was able to get those things off of them. There's brothers that dealt with alcohol that we had to say, hey, bro, just take a pause for a minute, take some time, get yourself together, get back to health, and then you can come back when you're able to pace yourself. Then you can come back to some alcohol, because you're not supposed to be drunk, bro. You're not supposed to be on drugs, bro. Give me that in Sirach 30. You said 30 and 12, officer? 30 and 21. 30 and 21. I want you to check this out, because like I told you, the Bible has all the answers. All right? You say you start drinking when your grandma passed. You start doing drugs when your grandma passed. Check this out.
Sirach chapter 30 and verse 21. Give not over thy mind to heaviness.
It says, give not over thy mind to heaviness. Don't give your mind over to heaviness, bro. That's what you do when you have a whole bunch of sorrows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what our people do when they don't know how to cope, when they don't know how to deal. They give their mind over to heaviness. You're always thinking about it. You're always thinking about, hey, I'm poor. I live in the hood. Oh, my grandmama passed. Oh, I can't get a good job. Or I can't do this. I can't do that. And so it starts to weigh on you. Read.
And afflict not thyself in thine own counsel.
And it says, don't afflict yourself in your own counsel. So God is giving us the answers on how we supposed to deal mentally.
That's right.
Because a lot of our people are destroyed in their mindset, how they think. You know what I'm saying? So I want us to go back. Understand, we went into slavery because we didn't keep God's laws. He destroyed us. He didn't just destroy us physically in slavery. He destroyed our mindset, as we read. So now you don't know how to deal with anything until you come back to God's laws. Give me Hosea chapter 4.
Bring it out.
Hosea, is that 4 and 16? I want destroy for lack of knowledge.
4 and 16.
Give me that. right? Now we destroyed. You know what I'm saying? We read it in 2 places that we destroyed, bro. Hey, I want you to pay attention. Hey, ain't nothing more important than what you learning right now.
That's right.
I guarantee you there's nothing more important. We talking about how we gonna take over the world.
That's right.
You got these men in purple shirts right now, all across the world teaching right now.
That's right.
They changing the world. Understand something? We are, no, I want you to listen, bro. We're not just changing South Memphis or wherever we at in Memphis. We changing the world.
That's right.
Because the world is now looking at black men and they saying, dang, those black men are in order.
That's right.
Those black men ain't killing each other. They ain't fighting with each other. They actually standing up for something. They claiming their heritage. They claiming their nationality. So we changing the world. People looking at us like, wow, I didn't think black people could do that.
That's right.
Because they thought we was an astonishment. They just thought we was niggas, but we not. We God's temple. But as long as you continue to put alcohol in your body, abusing it, as long as you continue to put drugs in your body, abusing it, you can't be a part of it.
That's right.
You're not going to be his temple. He going to destroy you, bro. So you got a chance. Not everybody has a chance. The so-called white man don't got a chance. The so-called Arab man don't got a chance. The so-called Indian man, or what is it? South Indian, West Indian, East Indian. The East Indian don't got a chance. Japanese don't got a chance. Chinamen don't got a chance. But you got a chance to repent. Trust me, he can bring you out of this, bro. Give me where I got you at. Read that real quick.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
It said, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Knowledge is God's laws.
That's right.
He said his laws are perfect. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about keeping the Sabbath day holy, when we talk about a man having a beard on his face, when we talk about not doing drugs, not abusing alcohol, you know what I'm saying? Those things are perfect because those are what makes you kings on the earth.
Right.
When you take care of yourself, when you in good health, nobody's smarter than you. You proved it. Nobody's stronger than you. Nobody's faster than you. When you look at the NBA, full of brothers that's mentally or physically strong, but they mentally weak. Imagine if those brothers start showing signs of strength in the mind. Like, hey, we're not going to be jumping and running around for you. We're going to jump and run around for our own people.
That's right.
Imagine that. Imagine if you start getting your mind right. Your body is going to follow. You understand? Give me Isaiah. I think it's 57 and 1. God's hand is not slack. It's either 57 or 53. I want you to really pay attention to what we're saying. So again, how I started this off. What are you learning, bro? I know I went through a lot of stuff, but what have you learned? Tell me. You said what? How to deal with more. How to deal with your morning, right? What you learned so far? About where you from. All right. Let me see what you got. Yeah, you on point, bro. Thank you.
Isaiah chapter 59 and verse 1. Behold, the Lord's hand is not short that he cannot save, neither his ear heavy that he cannot hear.
I want you to think about this. It said his hand is not short where he cannot save, neither his ear is not short where he cannot hear. So everything that you're going through, when you at night and you like, dang man, I'm tired of being poor. I'm tired of hearing gunshots at night. I'm tired of dealing with this alcohol, getting drunk all the time. I'm tired of dealing with drugs. I'm just tired of America. When you saying that, because I know we all say it. We all just be sitting there, you be watching TV, you see the houses over in Cordova, Collierville, see the big houses, I'm like, man, why can't my people have a house like that? Why my people can't live like that? I know our people are sitting back just like, man, why are we going through this? Why was there slavery? Why is there prostitution? Why are my sisters acting like this? Why are my brothers acting like this? Man, they done killed young Dolph. Why they do that? I know you sit back and you ask your questions, what's going on? God is hearing you. He ain't short that he can't bring you out of that. Hey, bro, you dealing with drugs? God is not short that he can't bring you out of that. to where, hey, you don't deal with drugs no more. He can help you. His spirit on you can heal you. His spirit on you can heal you from alcohol abuse. His hands are not short. Read.
But your iniquity have separated between you and your God.
It said, but your iniquity has separated you from your God. Your iniquity, your mindset is what's separating you. Once you come back to God, once you come back to his laws, statutes, and commandments, everything becomes better.
That's right.
Everything becomes better. Because now you got brothers that's ready to fight with you. Now you got brothers willing to pick you up. Brothers willing to encourage you, exhort you.
Right.
Now you got a structure. You got a foundation around you.
Right.
You got people to hold you accountable.
Right.
You got people make sure, hey, you better have a job, bro. You better take care of your family, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then when something happens like your grandma passing, you got the scriptures to bring you peace. Like, all right, I know what happened to my grandma now that she's gone. I understand what's going on with my grandma now that she ain't here. I understand what happened when my brother passed, what's going on. So now you know how to deal with that mourning. You won't turn to alcohol. You won't turn to drugs. But as long as you stay in your iniquity, as long as you ignore God, that's what's going to happen. You're going to be destroying yourself slower and slower and slower. You understand? So, hey, bro, we done said a lot, but I got to bring something out, and I want to see. Because if I ask you, do you love God? Do you love God? Yeah. Go to 1 Corinthians 11. I'm going to prove it. We're going to see if you do or not. You ready? You ready for the test? Because he was bringing it out as I stepped up here. But we're going to really test you right now to see if you really about God. If you really want to change. If you really want to make a step towards, hey, I love God. I want to do what I got to do. Read.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 1. Verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I also am follower of, be ye followers of me, even as I also am of Christ.
He said, be a follower of me as I am a follower of Christ. Right? So this is Paul. He was saying, hey, if y'all gonna follow me like I follow Christ. Right?
Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances, that I deliver them to you.
All right, so he's saying, hey, I'm going to deliver an ordinance or a rule or a law or a commandment. He's saying, I'm going to deliver something to you, and you need to keep it. You need to follow them. Because if you follow me like I follow Christ, you will follow what I'm about to say, okay? Read.
Verse 3, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of every woman is man, and that the head of Christ is God.
So now he's giving the order. Is God, Christ, man, then woman. All right? So God, Christ, man, and woman. So who's over you? As a man, who's over you? God, Christ, man, and woman. Who's over you? Who's over you? Christ.
That's right.
God, Christ, man, then woman. All right? So Christ is over you. He's your head, right? Just like if a woman was out here, the man would be her head, right?
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonors his head.
It said every man praying or prophesying with his head uncovered. Read it one more time. Dishonoreth his head. So who's your head again? Christ is your head. All right. Do you know what it means to pray or prophesy? You know what it means to pray? Talk to God, right? Okay. So let's show you what prophecy means. Go to Revelation chapter 1. Revelation chapter 1, I think it's verse 3. So, because we got to ask ourselves these questions. This is why I'm taking my time with you, bro. You may not have heard this, because in the Christian church, they don't teach this. Read.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy.
It said, blessed be he that readeth and hear the words of this prophecy. So whenever you hearing or reading this word of God, you in the spirit of prophecy. Okay? I want you to remember this. This is heavy. It said, whenever you reading or hearing, you're in the spirit of prophecy. So right now, y'all both in the spirit of prophecy, all right? All right, now let's go back. 1 Corinthians 11. Let's go back to it. Get some understanding, bro. Because like I said, this is a test. Like at school, they say, hey, this is a test on what you learn. This is a test right now. I want you to pay attention, bro. Check out.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 4. Every man praying or prophesy.
So we established that you prophesying because you're in the midst of hearing this word. How you doing, bro? We understand that, right? Read.
Having his head covered.
Having his head covered. You got on a hat. Your head is covered. Read.
Dishonoreth his head.
So it said every man that's praying or prophesying, hearing the words of God, that has his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
That's
Who
right.
is your head? Christ is your head. So as long as you got that hat on, you're dishonoring Christ. Because we're bringing out the word of God.
That's
now
right.
I'm asking you, if you love God, what you gonna do?
Yes, right.
You see what that is? You see what that is, bro? That's repentance. That's, all right, I was doing something wrong. Now I'm trying to fix it. Now I'm trying to get an understanding on what I should do now to fix those things, right? Everybody can do that. Everybody can do that. So sis, what's your name, sis? Tequila? What's your name, bro? Because y'all new to the conversation. I want to bring y'all up so y'all can get on board with what we're talking about. What we've been talking about with our brothers here is nationality, who they are, according to the Bible, that they are the Israelites.
That's right.
All right, according to the Bible. And the curses that were put on our people because we did not keep God's commandments.
That's right.
All right? So let me ask you a question. Do you know, has anybody ever told you you was an Israelite? Anybody ever told you that, bro? All right, so let me ask you, how did our people get here on this side of the earth?
Bring it out.
You listening? How did our people get here on this side of the earth, bro?
They say the boats.
But the boats, right? Yeah, that's right, bro. Come over here, little bro. The little bro understand.
That's right.
The little bro know his history. He said we came over here on ships. I'm going to show you that that's in the Bible. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. We went over it with these brothers, but I'm going to go over it again. So y'all should be well apt to answer a question, right? Why did God put us in slavery? All right, come on, bro. Y'all should have been listening, bro. Why God put us in slavery, bro? You see what I'm saying? So if we talking and you walk away and you like, man, those Israelites sure was talking about something, but I can't remember nothing they was talking about. This the most important thing you gonna hear all day.
That's right.
You're not gonna hear nothing more important than this. Because we giving you the answers. When you sitting back like why Trayvon Martin happened, why Philando Castile happened, why all these things Sandra Bland happened. The answers is right here.
That's right.
Read it. I want you to check it out, bro. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So let me ask you, is a curse a good thing or a bad thing, bro? It's a bad thing. Alright, so if God said, I'm going to curse you for not keeping my commandments, that means he about to do something bad to us, right? So when we look around Memphis right now, or any state you go to where black people are in the hood, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Say that again.
Alright, when we look at Memphis as a whole, the crime, the drugs, etc., that's a bad thing, right?
Low vibration and low frequency around here.
Low vibration, low frequency, you say. Well, we reading that it's because of God. God did it to us.
That's right.
God gave us that, hey, I'm gonna do this to you if you don't follow my commandments. So how do you get it high again? How do you come back to God?
They have to follow God's commandments. 400 years of slavery.
Well, you have to follow God's commandments. Soon as we start following God's commandments, we gonna get out of here, bro. But that entails a lot of things. Like one of the commandments is we ain't supposed to shave our head, or we ain't supposed to shave our beard. We supposed to be an image of God. We supposed to be a manly man. When you look up the definition of beard, it is a badge of manly dignity. That's what it's supposed to be. You ever see a lion run around the Serengeti without a mane? Nah. When you see that man, you know, hey, that's a male lion, and it'll mess me up. Right? So that's what our men got to do. You know what I'm saying? When we bald our head, it means that we trying to be like Egypt. That was our oppressor at one point. We not Egyptians. We the Israelites according to the Bible. All right, bro?
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.